evening, everybody. Hi. So, welcome to the InterCoast College's West Covina and online commencement ceremony. We want to thank the honored guests here, family, friends, for joining InterCoast Colleges this evening to celebrate an incredible milestone in your loved ones' lives. Think about this. In one person's lifetime, there's millions, billions of memories. However, only a select few kind of take the place in your mind, okay? And they stand out. One of them is the day you graduate, whether it be high school or college again. Today, we're privileged to become a part of somebody's graduation memory. So in the weeks leading up to this night, I've spoken to many of the graduates, and many have shared their stories with me. A lot of students would share that they had to fight doubt, fears within themselves, fears that, did I make the right decision to come to school? Or they would face ridicule. They're trying to change their lives, but outside forces are telling them, what are you doing? Is this the right decision for you? Some students, they had to struggle with illness for themselves or their family members. There have been childcare issues, transportation problems. This is real life that they're dealing with while trying to make a better life for themselves. One student in particular, on her first day of school, had to walk for her car broke down the week before. She was lost, plus it was raining. It was pouring down on her first day. She was so frustrated. She stood there in the rain, ready to give up before she even started. But she didn't give up. She started, and she's here tonight, okay? Through all the struggles these students have had, you, those that love them, supported them along this path. You believed in their dream and that goal that they had, although at times the student couldn't see it themselves. But step by step, assignment by assignment, mod by mod, encouragement by encouragement, they all made it through adversity. They made it here tonight. So, before we bring our graduates out, right behind the doors behind you, they're all waiting there. Their butterflies are like 747s right now. So let's kind of amp it up a little bit, make them a little bit more nervous, but let's show our appreciation for what they've done, all right? Woo! So ladies and gentlemen, I give you the InterCoast College online and West Covina campuses graduates. Thank you.
We have a wonderful program this evening. First and foremost, I'd like to take a moment to introduce our faculty and staff that are here tonight to celebrate in your success. First, behind me, from HVAC, our instructor, Mr. Daniel Watson. Our other HVAC instructor, Mr. Robert Gonzalez. Our ETP instructor, Mr. Terry Carver. Our ATP instructor, Mr. Ledesma. Our other ATP instructor, Mr. Macia. Our alcohol and drug counseling instructor, Mr. Thomas. Our director of admissions for the online team, Teresa De Santiago. Our director of student success for the online team, Diane Mason. And our student financial aid manager, Julie Carrillo. You may be seated. Next, I would like to introduce to all of you our guest speaker for this evening. This man specializes in helping people find their purpose in life. He has given lectures for Hollywood red carpet events and college campuses across the nation. He is a kind-hearted, genuine man and a true definition of a good man whose passion and expertise is helping others find direction. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce to all of you tonight our guest speaker, Mr. Steve Coe.
Wow, what a time to celebrate. You've been on this journey, and graduates, it's like congratulations. The endless hours of studying, the traffic, I'm sure working a job and going to school at the same time. You know, the time when I'm sure the homework was overwhelming, but you kept with it, and you continued, and now you're here. And so tonight, I want to just enjoy this journey with you, because it's a time for celebration. But I also want to give you something to think about. I want to give you something that there's more to just a career. And what I mean by that is I'm going to give you just a few steps tonight where you can experience happiness and fulfillment. And so, because I think that's so important. Sometimes we miss that. I'd love to just say, hey, go off in your career and live happily ever after. But as Christy introduced me, that's not what I do. I help you find your purpose. And I help you to live that out. Because when you live that out is where the real fulfillment comes in. And so a few things I want to talk about. So first of all, I want to say you're in the 40% club. And so you're probably thinking, what's the 40% club? Well, graduates, 40% of the population has a college education. So you are in the 40% club. So well done. Yeah. So I want to talk about a few things. And the first thing I want to talk about is gratitude. And how important gratitude is. I think sometimes we overlook gratitude. I know for myself, it's like I get carried away and I take things for granted. And, I did some studying before I had this talk, and just to kind of prepare. That always helps a little bit, right? You guys know about studying. So, and I found out that if you make minimum wage here in the United States, that you're in the top 5% of the world's wealthiest people. So if you make minimum wage, and I looked at that figure, and I've actually traveled around the country. I've been in 16 different countries. And the average wage in a lot of countries, people make $1 a day. And I know what you're saying. It's like, well, the expenses, they must not have many expenses. Well, it all weighs itself out. So just kind of think about that you're in the top 5%. And so what does it look like to be in gratitude? Well, just to have a roof over our heads, to be eating every day. I mean, there's just so much to be thankful for in the process. And so something that I've learned a long time ago is, just an experience of being grateful for what you have. And so that can be as simple on a daily basis of just writing down what you're grateful for. I see some heads being nodded, so I'm not the only one that does that, which is awesome. And there's just so much that comes from that. That when you just say, write down. There's something powerful about writing as well. So the first tool I want to give you is to stay in gratitude. Just stay grateful at all times. Realize how much you have. Second thing I want to talk about is just knowing who you are. I think so many times we get lost. We get lost in society. And we start believing what I want to call these lies about us. And we try to live up to those lies. Those lies that have played maybe for 10, 15, or 20 years. And so those lies say that you're not measuring up, or you have to succeed more, or you have to do something to be okay. And I want to tell you tonight that's a lie, because there's a truth inside each one of us, and we can call that God's truth that's inside of us. And when you live from that place of truth, it's amazing what happens in your life, because you're not dictated by circumstances. And to me, that's a big part of being free and really having peace, is when you're not dictated by circumstances. It's when you can, live from that place of just, knowing who you are. And it's just an amazing feeling. And then I also want to talk about, just along the lines of purpose, is, you've graduated, you're getting ready to graduate. You're almost there. So, and just how, each one of your jobs, each one of your careers that you're going into, whether it's electrical or drug and alcohol counseling, no matter what it is, just how much of a difference that you can make kind of with that job. And so just look at it as not just a job, but a chance to make a difference. That's how I always see it. I do these talks all over the country. And people always say, well, I'm just this. It's like, no, you're not just anything. You have a chance to make a difference with your job. And so I was actually talking to a mailman one time. So I run into this mailman, and I'm talking to him, and I had the question for him. And he was the happiest mailman I've ever seen. So is there any mailmans out here that can testify that mailmen are happy? I don't think so. But, I got one. So, okay. So that guy looks pretty happy, so I think I'm on the right track. But so I asked this guy, because this guy was so happy, and so I'm going to pop this off here, and he had a big smile on his face. And so I asked him, I said, hey, why are you so happy? And he goes, well, delivering mail is just not my job. He goes, and I know we don't use mail that much anymore, so he has a lot less letters to carry. But, he talked about how, he's like, here's somebody sending a letter to one of their loved ones, and I get to be a part of that process. I get to, be in the middle of that, of people connecting with each other. So he goes, I don't just deliver the mail. He goes, I make differences in people's lives, because without letters being delivered, it would be hard to reach people, especially in other countries. Where letter, I love handwritten letters. I don't think we get enough of those anymore. But I was so motivated by this guy. I was like, this is amazing. I said, you wouldn't do anything else? He goes, no. He goes, with this job, he goes, I have a chance to spread joy to people. He goes, do you know how many people I encounter on a daily basis? And he goes, I encounter people that are stressed, or, are receiving a bill or some bad news or whatever it may be. And he says, I have an opportunity, to connect with people, to show some compassion, to show some encouragement in the process. And so that story really inspired me, that, no matter what you're doing, you have a chance to make a difference. This is another statistic, that throughout the day, that you'll run into an average of 100 people throughout the day that you'll pass. And out of those 100 people, they say one of those people is thinking about suicide. So out of 100 people. And so just the difference, they say, of you smiling can change that person's life. And I don't think we see that enough. We get kind of caught up in ourselves, but there's just so much we can do in the process. And so I think this is an amazing time that we're celebrating here. Not only that you're graduating, but that you have a chance to make a difference and to make an impact, with what's going on. And so, I also, I love stories, by the way, so I'm going to keep telling stories if that's okay. So I'm a storyteller. So, but along those lines, kind of with impact, is a few years back, it was, I guess about 6 years back, I had an opportunity to attend 2 funerals in a week. And so I know your first thought is like, wow, 2 funerals. I mean, that's pretty depressing. You know, come on, it's like, this is a time of celebration. We shouldn't be talking about funerals at all. But now, what's interesting is about these 2 funerals, is I knew both of the men, and I was invited to both of their services. And the first man, I went to a service, and I knew him. I didn't know him real well. I wasn't real close to him. But, you know, I went to the church where he had a service at, and it was this beautiful church. I mean, I'm from Denver, and so it was in Denver. It was a huge church. They had, you know, valet parking at the church. That shows you how nice the church was. They don't want you to walk. They want you to have valet parking. And as I'm walking in there, I noticed that there's hardly anybody there. And so I'm thinking to myself, it's like, am I at the right place? You know, have you ever done that? It's like, did I get the days mixed up? I couldn't, you know, I don't want to mix up the day of a funeral. You know, and so I go up to one of the ushers that was there, and I said, you know, I'm here for the service. Am I here at the right time? You know, is this the right place to be? And he turns to me, and he says, yeah, you're at the right place. And I said, where is everybody? You know, I expected this place to be packed in the process, and it wasn't. And so he whispers to me, he goes, and the man's name was Mike, and he said, you know, Mike didn't have a lot of friends. He said, not a lot of people. He wasn't really a nice person. You know, and I found that, I didn't know him that well, but I was surprised. And so as I sat there through the service, you know, most of the time if you've been to a service, you know, a lot of people come up and they'll talk about the person. They'll share with the person. And so with this man, there was very few people that came up and talked. And so, I mean, I just thought that was sad, that this man made no impact at all. And even his own family didn't get up and say anything in the process. And so that was my first funeral I went to. And then I went to another funeral. And I went to a man's funeral. His name was Pat. And this was a man with the complete opposite. That there was a part of Denver that was kind of run down, and that's where his church was. And so as I'm driving into his church, I know it's a small church, so I start looking for parking, you know, pretty quick. And so as I'm driving and looking for parking, I can't find a parking spot anywhere. There's like no room. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Is there a parade going on? Did I miss something? You know, there has to be something going on in the process. And so as I get closer, I'm still not able to find parking. And I pull up, and this church is packed. I mean, there is more people. They're actually even setting chairs outside. So that's how busy, you know, how many people were there at this church. So they're setting chairs outside. And so I come up, and I mean, they're putting the speakers outside. And so I walk into the church, and this church is so packed. It's wall-to-wall people. I mean, there is no space. Kind of like, almost like here, but a little bit more room than here. And so as I go in there, they're sharing. People are coming up and talking about this man. And this man actually traveled all over the world. He did like different things like water projects and different things that he got involved with in the process. And so he did a lot of serving in the process. He had a heart for helping people. And so people came up and they were talking about this man. And people had traveled from all over the world to speak of this man. And they used everything they had. So they used their life savings to come for this man. And I was just in awe of like listening to people that personally didn't even know this man, but that he affected their lives. And there was a woman that came up that had a child that he helped kind of put a water well in that actually saved her child's life in the process. And I thought to myself, wow, this guy has made such a difference. Like people didn't even know him and just the impact that they had. And I think that was like the best experience of that week because I got to see, you know, what we can do and the impact that we can make in the process. And so I share that with you to encourage you, you know, at this time of celebration, that there are so many opportunities, you know, to be grateful, first of all, you know, to not believe, you know, I'll call it the lies. I like to use the term the lies of the world. I know that's maybe really deep, but that's okay. because that's what kind of guy I am. I'm deep and purposeful. And then also, just to use what you have to affect other people's lives in the process. So graduates, I want to keep on celebrating with you on your journey. And so thank you for this opportunity to just encourage you. And so congratulations.
All right. Thank you, Steve Coe. At this time, we would like to do the presentation for our Valedictorian and our Salutatorian. Howard will come up, Director of Career Services for West Covina.
So, our Salutatorian. I'd like to introduce to you the Salutatorian for the West Covina campus from our ADCS program, Raymond Romero. Ray, could you please come on up?
A little bit nervous. But I'll be all right. I'll be all right. All right. Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome all faculty, alumni, friends, family, and distinguished guests to the 2018 commencement ceremony of InterCoast College. Before I commence my speech, I would like to thank a few people, and I would start with God, because I certainly didn't do this in my strength, but in His. Okay? For when I am weak, then I am strong. Okay? And so He definitely gets a lot of credit. And secondly, my family. Okay? I certainly didn't do this alone. I did this with the support of my family. I'm blessed. And I would like to start with my parents. My pop. Where's my dad? Pop, stand up. There he is. Yeah. That man right there is giving me my work ethic. You know, he just taught me by example. He has an excellent work ethic, amongst other things, and I love him. I love you, Pop. And then there's, of course, God has surrounded me, honestly, with a lot of awesome women. And starting with my mom. Mom, stand up. There she is. Yes. My mom, at an early age, taught us how to help others. Right off the bat, we were always helping someone. She was always helping somebody. And so I had an early lesson on helping others. You know, whatever we want to keep, we got to give away. I learned that lesson years ago, and I try to hold that to this day. And then, let's see, I have my sister, Gina, here, my baby sister. Stand up, Gina. I know she's going to love to stand up. Where is she? There she is. Yeah. So now, Gina is my baby sister, but when I need a checkup from the neck up, that's where I go, okay? Or sometimes, even if I just need some prayer, she's a prayer warrior, and she's helped me through a lot of things. So thank you, Gina. I love you. And then I have my beautiful daughters, my masterpieces, Raylene and Desiree. Please stand up. There we go. All right. I'm a sensitive guy, and here's where I might get choked up, but I'm going to give this a shot. These girls who I call trouble and more trouble are just my life. I love these girls. I mean, they've taught me so much, and I'm so proud of them. Desiree has graduated USC. I'm proud of that. Raylene's on her way, and I'm just so proud of them, and I love them so much. And finally, last but not least, they say behind every good man, maybe not that I'm good, but is a great woman. And I'm telling you guys, God has blessed me with a beautiful, beautiful woman. Amen. Teresa, babe, please stand up. There she is. That is one awesome woman. She is, as you guys know, those work in the field already, you know, the life gets sucked out of you in, what, one day, half a day? So we're always having to come back home and regenerate I know Mr. T has always talked about self-care. He wasn't lying, okay? I think my first week I was already putting in for like a 2-week vacation. It's like, you have to accumulate vacation, but I was ready to go. So it's important that we take care of ourselves, and that's a woman there that I can come home to, or she'll just offer, "Are you okay?" It's just bouncing things off of her, and yeah, she's my queen, and I love her. Thank you, Teresa. Okay. All right, here I go. Class of 2018, I want to challenge each and every one of you to be extraordinary. You see, most of us have been raised to be ordinary, and I'm not putting down ordinary, but ordinary is just no longer good enough for me. Ordinary is, you go through life and you fill out the forms and you pay your taxes and you do what your parents tell you sometimes. And you're honorable and you're honest and you're a good citizen, and then you die. Okay? Extraordinary is something very, very different. This is about recognizing within yourself that there's something very, very extraordinary that you haven't even been trained to believe in. So you haven't even been trained to believe in the extraordinary that's in you guys. Okay? And this is when you need to come to a place where you can apply it and put it into your life. And I want to say to you that I have been working in my life at living an extraordinary life. And so many great things have happened to me, as you can see. But more than that, you can go beyond ordinary. You can go way beyond just being average. There's not an average person sitting in those chairs. There's not an average person in this room. All of us are extraordinary. We just have to come to believe it. Wayne Dyer, he's one of my favorite spiritual teachers. He once spoke about an experience that where he was at a seminar, and they were asked to share the 5 chapters of their life on 5x7 cards. They gave them 5x7 cards because they didn't want them to get too wordy. Okay? So Wayne sat down and he wrote these words about the 5 chapters of his life, and I thought I'd share them with you because they're so beautiful. And they also remind me of our participants in the addiction field. And I run this story by my guys all the time, okay? And this is what Wayne Dyer wrote. He says, "Chapter 1 of my life. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I'm lost. I'm helpless. It isn't my fault, and it takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2 of my life. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place. It isn't my fault, and it still takes a long time to get out." Okay. Chapter 3 of my life. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It's my own fault, and I get out immediately. Quicker than I'm going to find my next card. All right? Bear with me here. Chapter 4 of my life. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5 of my life. I walk down another street. So, as I love that story because it's a lot of the guys and participants in the field of addiction can relate to a story like that, right? So it's just, it's something where we know better, but like, what is it? What is it that we can't change, right? What is it? And so it's almost like we have to die to I tell them we have to die to ourselves daily. We have to get rid of that stuff so that we're ready for the next day, so that we can get there and be the best counselor we can be in front of them, right? And I tell them in my favorite stories, it's not always the snake. It's not the snake bite that kills you. It's the venom that stays in you that eventually kills you, right? And it's not the substance either. It's not the activating event, because the same boiling water that hardens the egg softens the potato. So it's what you're made of. And so I tell the guys, that's what you're here for. You're working on yourself so you can be made of something. I didn't thank faculty and staff. I'd like to do that now for providing me with a skill set that I can utilize in the field of addiction. Mr. Thomas here, I love you. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I always say that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I was ready, Mr. Thomas appeared, and the rest is history. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Chris Rush, where's Chris Rush? Chris Rush, I love this man. Open door policy for InterCoast College. I loved coming to school and chit-chatting with Chris. He's always helped me out. Great man, great man. A pastor once told me, he said, Ray, spread the word of God, and if necessary, use words. And that resonated with me, and I said, wow, you know what that means? That I could be an example just by the way I'm carrying myself. And Chris Rush walked around that school as a great example for me, and I thank you, Chris. Thank you. How about Fatima? Is Fatima in here? Fatima didn't make it. She deserves a shout out. That girl gave us pencils, pens, erasers, right? Copies, with a smile, with a smile. What a great girl. But I will always be indebted to InterCoast College for the skill set that I utilize every day in the field of addiction. Just trying to save lives, guys, one day at a time. What a beautiful feeling. So I'm very, very grateful. And I'm honored, absolutely honored, to be representing you guys here tonight. Art, we did it, brother. We did it.
Thank you, Ray. So next up, I'm gonna, well, before I do that, story time. I'm standing over here, and I'm looking at all of these students that at some point in time I've spoken with, I've helped. I've heard your story. Now, I'm standing there, and I'm seeing you in the green. Green is jealousy, so I'm a little bit jealous. The reason why is this. Years ago, in another lifetime, I went to school just like you. Graduation time came. I finished. I was one of the worst students around, but I did finish. But I never got a chance to walk because I was like, whatever. Now, in this lifetime, I look back and I think, I missed out. But I live vicariously through you guys, okay? So thank you, I appreciate that. So now, for your valedictorian, I'd like to introduce to you our valedictorian from our West Covina campus, also from our ADCS class, Melissa Montes. Melissa, please come on up.
Good afternoon, members of the administration, faculty and staff, and fellow graduates. I'm truly honored to be here before you presenting the commencement speech for the class of 2018. To begin, I would like to congratulate my fellow classmates on achieving this major milestone. Reflecting on my time at InterCoast, I can say that there is no better school that is filled with wonderful staff and faculty members who dedicate their time to help fulfill each student's goals and dreams. The ADCS program is one example. And one professor who took it a step further, she made it a mission to help me fulfill my dreams of being a counselor. Not only did she teach me how to write a diagnostic summary, not easy, a treatment plan, and recommended me for my first internship at Dedicato Treatment Center. She also gave me the courage to step out of my shell as the shy girl I once was to the confident, mature woman who stands before you today. Dr. Judy Redmond, are you here today? Dr. Judy, for all you do for the students at InterCoast and for being so passionate about what you do. When I was asked to be valedictorian and give a speech, I had no idea where to begin. I reached out to my mentor, and she told me, just write it from the heart. Talk about how far you've come and the future. And then I realized I wanted to share a bit of my own story. Growing up, I was never the brightest student. I had average grades at best. I didn't see much of the future ahead, and I let life get in the way. And I ended up choosing a path that was probably not the best for me. Life got hard, and at times it became even difficult to continue. I had lost all hope and desire to fulfill any dreams or to set any goals. I came to InterCoast with hopes of just getting a job at the end of it. But what I ended up doing was walking out with a career and a dream that I had forgot about since I was a child. I always wanted to help others, and that is exactly what I am doing today, and living out a dream. Our dreams began the day we came to InterCoast College for our orientation. We spent the past couple years developing our knowledge and our focus and making our dreams a reality. Today we take the final step in our college experience with InterCoast. Our hard work and long hours of studying have paid off. It is time to take the knowledge we have gained and apply what we have learned to our future endeavors. For some, that may be continuing their education. To others, it's the start of their chosen profession. Whichever the case may be, I wish all my fellow students the happiness and fortune this life may bring. At this time, I would like to thank several important members of my life that either encouraged me or supported me through this amazing journey. This person taught me the building blocks to becoming a successful woman. She helped me when I didn't have a friend or anyone left to turn to. Mom, thank you for your love and support. I love you very much. Okay, I'm nervous enough, okay? That doesn't... Luis, for all the love and support and helping me accomplish each one of my goals, and for sacrifices that you made for me while I was going to school so that I can go to school and do what I needed to do to help us in our life. Dr. Keith Marshall, for his guidance and sharing his knowledge and experience with me. My mentor, Christina Henderson, Dr. Redmond, Mr. Thomas, Joey Madrano, and to my fellow classmates who are now my colleagues in the field. Today, we stand united as a class. Tomorrow, we go our own way as individuals. But we move forward with the knowledge and the foundation that we have gained at InterCoast College. We move on as the professionals that we have become. While at InterCoast, we have learned the value of education, ethics, and unmeasurable wisdom in the fields we have chosen. And even if the future doesn't always meet our expectations or the fates are cruel to us at times, no one can take this moment from us. We have earned it through our hard work, determination, and by living out our dreams. This was all it took to get to this day, was for us to follow our hearts and live our dreams. But we aren't finished. We're not by far finished. We're still on different roads and paths. We all have one thing in common, and that is to fulfill our careers and be the most successful people that are out there. We are now ready to make a difference in the world. Graduates, it's about time where we throw up our hats, say farewell to InterCoast College, and hello to our prospective futures. We are the class of 2018. It is time that we shape ourselves to be the best we can possibly be and become role models for future generations. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2018. go forward into this world and do great things. Thank you.
All right. For the online division, I'd like to welcome Sylvia Raygosa for the Salutatorian on behalf of her class.
Congratulations. Thank you. Good evening, fellow students, school board members, instructor, parents, and friends. I would like to thank all of you, from our instructors to friends and family, for being in attendance this evening. You have all had a profound impact on the development of the students that will be graduating today, and I feel it's safe to say that I speak on behalf of the whole graduating class in thanking all of you for all your efforts that have invested in us today. Sorry. I know there might have been times when some of us were up late, needed help with our kids, upset, overwhelmed, frustrated, even felt lost at times. You know it's true. But with all your continued support and encouragement, you helped us in going forward and accomplishing our task. Thank you. Today is no small feat. It perhaps is the most significant and life-altering achievement that most of us have accomplished today. Never hesitate in recognizing how proud each person who is present both bodily and spiritually today is for you to have completed such a long and perhaps difficult task. Having worked busy schedules, maintaining a family, and being dedicated to completing our school work and our college courses took a lot of dedication, perseverance, and yet we have accomplished our goals. We have our personal reasons as to why we decided to choose the career path that we have taken. And with believing in ourselves and not giving up, we're able to achieve where we are today. In this very moment, I want to step back and congratulate all of you classmates. I'm completing the course for alcohol drug counseling, mental health, associates, and all the other courses. I know it was hard and it took a lot of studying, but you did it. I have no doubt that every graduate here will find a way to succeed in life, and I encourage all of you to pursue what is most dear to you. Pursue in that which you feel you can make a difference. Throughout my personal time here in college, not only have I gained knowledge of the subjects that I have studied, but I have also learned many other lessons as well. At times, I know some of you question the need to attend class, but gaining intelligence is not the only purpose of it. School has helped to build priceless social skills, as well as install a value of success. Even if something seems hard to overcome, stand up for it. The instructors that we have had, along with our peers, have been there to help us in our time of need. I remember when I was cramming to finish my study guide in the mental health. I was unable to find the information that I needed. I started to stress out and felt overwhelmed. Yet I continued to search for the information, and it still was frustrating. So I reached out to fellow peers and our instructors for assistance, and without hesitation, they were there to help and provide the information I needed to pass the exam. I'm sure many of you can agree that we have homework assignments throughout the courses. Some subjects were easy, some were difficult than others. I want a minute to say thank you to our instructors. Thank you, Ms. Judy Redmond. Don't forget that having the correct mindset makes all the difference. If you believe you can achieve anything and don't allow others to persuade you differently, what you are capable of achieving will become limitless. I encourage you, the class of 2018, to not only follow the opportunities available to you, but to follow your heart and pursue a cause of importance to you. Instead of following the path of past graduating classes, I challenge you all to make your own path. The risk will be always there, but you will learn from the mistakes that you make and accomplish your biggest achievement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. And last but not least, for the online division, we are bringing to the stage Ernie Rodriguez as your valedictorian.
First of all, I'd like to start by thanking somebody real quick. My parents are in Texas. That's where all my family lives. I'm the only one out here. But my supervisor from work came out here for the event. I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart. Mr. Ron Weekly. All righty then. Campus President, Mr. Chris Rush, trustees, faculty members, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Today is a day to be thankful and to be inspired. Here at InterCoast, we have received an excellent education thanks to our fine administration and instructors. We are now prepared to move on and take on whatever challenges come next in our lives. Fellow graduates, what a great gift it is to be as prepared as we are. Here at InterCoast, we have had a high degree of academic excellence, and whether you intend to continue your education or not, we will benefit from what we learned. We can also be thankful for our families. These last few years have presented us with many ups and downs. It's good to know that we have our families on our corner. Thank you, Mom and Dad. They will get the video. We can also be thankful for each other. The friendships that we have made here will last a lifetime. We have supported each other and helped each other succeed in these years, and I hope we can continue to encourage and support each other in the future. Now, what can we be inspired by today? Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas. I come from a poor family. I got caught up in alcohol and drugs at a very young age. This went on for years. Some would say that it was a miracle that I graduated high school. I always had good jobs and made good money, but I liked to have fun and party. I found myself in and out of jails and institutions, and at some point I gave up on life due to what I was doing to myself. I was always looking for something or someone to blame. It was like a big shadow that kept me from succeeding. Let me tell you something you already know. The world isn't all about peaches and cream or tiptoeing through the tulips. It can be a mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. Life is going to hit, and it will knock you down. Sometimes we don't even realize it. But our lives are not defined by how hard we have been hit or the struggles we have endured. Instead, we are measured by how hard you can get hit and keep moving, how much you can take and remain standing. That is how winning is done. Now it's my turn to help. In the past, I had a major problem. I was afraid to ask for help. As you can see, I don't now. I had too much pride. However, at some point, I came to my senses and said to myself, it's time to learn and listen, to learn to listen and to ask for help. And I did. Now, because of what I've accomplished, I have left behind years of substance abuse and incarceration to dedicate my life to those in recovery. InterCoast and an agency called Chrysalis were there with the resources that I needed to map out the way to success. Thanks to them, I am now a substance abuse counselor at the Phoenix House in Venice Beach. I started in January this year. It's almost been a year since I started, and I don't only enjoy working at the Phoenix House, but am proud to be of a service to those in recovery. Often on graduation day we look outside for heroes, but I see them right here among us. Celebrate what you have accomplished, but look forward towards how you too can be the inspiration for others. Congratulations, class of 2018. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Teresa Di Santiago, and I'm the Online Division Director of Admissions. Very excited to be here. It's my first graduation with InterCoast Colleges, and very proud to be here. I am so happy to share in the excitement of your graduation day, and very proud in every single one of you here. At this moment, we will be presenting some awards, but before that, I would like to pretty much congratulate every graduate present today on your well-deserved success and best wishes on your next adventure. Everybody, please join me to give class of 2018 a round of applause, please.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This has probably got to be by far my most favorite part of graduation. Tonight we honor those students who have worked so hard throughout the duration of their program. We want to acknowledge the achievements of our students who have made both their school and their parents proud. We want you to know that your efforts have not gone unnoticed. These students and their accomplishments are not only a reflection of their strength and discipline, but also a reflection of InterCoast's mission. By providing equal opportunities to our students, they're able to realize their full potential and face the world outside these walls. Tonight, we'll be recognizing 2 awards. Perfect attendance, which is given to those who have not missed a single day of school, even when I'm pretty sure you really wanted to. And we'll also be honoring the President's Honor, which goes to students with a 3.85 GPA or higher and 95% attendance or higher. I would like to call the recipients by name and ask that you come to the podium to receive your award and be recognized. I ask that you hold your applause until the end and I have presented the awards. Can I please have Irvin Alator to the stage for perfect attendance in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program. Next, we have President's Honor for Carlos Aliman in the Electrical Training Program. Next, Kevin Butler for the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program for President's Honor. Robin Elmore, President's Honor in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program. President's Honors, Charles Festejo for the HVAC Technician Program. Delilah Flores, perfect attendance in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Studies Program. Jonathan Fuentes, President's Honor in the Electrical Training Program. Okay, next we have Blanca Gamboa, perfect attendance and President's Honor. Congratulations. Thank you. Antoine Hargrass, President's Honor, Electrical Training. Yeah, she's got two. Okay, this next one has 3 perfect attendance for the Alcohol, Drug Counseling, Mental Health Rehabilitation Program, and the AAS degree in Substance Use Disorder. Can I please have Harry Crizzo to the stage? Congratulations. You're very welcome. Perfect attendance in the AAS degree in Substance Use Disorder, Mary Leisure. President's Honor in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program, Lynette Martinez. President's Honor in the Electrical Training Program, Rafael Pedroza. President's Honor in the Alcohol and Drug Program, Jeanette Perez. Perfect attendance in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program, Mac Toll. President's Honor in the HVAC Technician Program, Abraham Velasquez. Okay. Congratulations. A couple more here. We have Melissa Montes, President's Honor in the Mental Health Rehabilitation Program, perfect attendance in the AAS degree, and perfect attendance in the Mental Health Rehabilitation Program. Come to the stage, please. Raymond Romero, President's Honor in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program, and perfect attendance in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program. President's Honor in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program, perfect attendance in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program, perfect attendance in the Mental Health Program, Ernie Rodriguez. And last but not least, perfect attendance in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program, perfect attendance in the Mental Health Program, President's Honor in the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program, Sylvia Regosa. I don't think we have a stage big enough for everybody.
Yes.
Please join me and give me a round of applause for your graduates and their accomplishments.
To recognize the online faculty, the stage is too small, so I had to have them sit over there. And they're all so nice about it. No one came over and yelled at me for our Healthcare Office Specialist program and for everyone's favorite online program, PD, Miss Nicole Franklin. If you go to any drug and alcohol counseling event with Dr. Judy, it's almost like walking around with Tom Cruise. I'm not kidding you. Dr. Judy Redmond. Next, just a wonderful man. Great guy, doctorate in biblical counseling, Dr. Freddie Martin. And then I know we have our dean of the online education program, Mr. James Cheeks. I don't see you. You're out there. You're somewhere. Okay. All right. By the way, didn't Mr. Coe do a great job? Our guest speaker. Thank you, Steve. Okay, now we're ready for the main event. Let's do this.
We will be presenting the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Studies program. We have Alma Guerrero. John Ramirez. Harold Ringgold. Mr. Thomas's favorite, Robin Elmore. Marissa Vasquez. Jeanette Perez. Kevin Butler. Maite Cienfuegos. Suzelle Blanco. Mac Toll. Irvin Alatorre. Ernie Rodriguez. Lynette Martinez. We have Steve Ordenleta. Cruz Ortega. Gabriela Vasquez. Jessica Barnes. Art Jimenez. Raymond Romero. Harry Crizzo from the Alcohol and Drug Counseling Studies, Mental Health Rehabilitation Technician, and our Associate's degree for Substance Abuse. Sylvia Raygoza, Alcohol and Drug Counseling and Mental Health Rehabilitation Technician. Ashley Cruz. Shauna Hernandez, graduating from our Alcohol and Drug Counseling and Mental Health Rehabilitation Technician. Delilah Flores, Alcohol and Drug Counseling and Mental Health. Charles Vestejo. Blake Lee. Osman Mancia. Abraham Velasquez. Alejandro Perez. Stephen Atkinson. Narissa Newton from the Alcohol and Drug Counseling, Mental Health, and Associate's degree. Karen Davis. Miss Melissa Montes. Melissa Montes from Alcohol and Drug Counseling, Mental Health, and Associates. Mary Leisure. Robert Turner, Jr. Joseph Duvall. Blanca Gamboa. Jonathan Hernandez. Joe Galindo. Dominic Madera. Lisana Montes. Anthony Miranda. William Vaughn. Danny Aguilar. Victor Sanchez. Justin Slominski. Arthur Gonzalez. Loris Quiñones III. Daniel Sanchez. Raul Sanchez. Adan Jorge. Mua Simatupang. Richard Barra. Jordi Camacho. Christopher Rubalcaba. Joshine Montgomery. Everardo Panduro. Matthew Williams. Christian Prado. Clarinetta Williams from our ETP and HVAC program. Rafael Pedrosa. Carlos Crespo. Roche Haywood. David Mendez. Matthew Sanchez. Mario Chaires. Sebastian Sandoval. Marco Rodriguez. Everybody, let's just give class of 2018 a big hand of applause.
Okay. Dear graduates, family and friends, faculty and staff, it is my pleasure to celebrate in your success this evening and deliver the closing commencement speech for our 2018 graduating class. First off, to all of you graduates, I'm proud of you. Congratulations. The audience doesn't know me. That's not something I would say very lightly, okay? But tonight's ceremony is to honor the tremendous time and effort it has taken for you to reach this milestone. This is such an amazing accomplishment. Some people will go their entire life and never get an opportunity to walk across the stage. So take it in. Be in the moment. By the way, if you listen to Melissa's speech, she said, she brought up orientation. And I used to tell all of you, you'd be amazed at how fast between orientation and graduation. Was I right? Yeah, it flies by. And that's kind of like how life is, right? It just flies by. So be in the moment. The reason I'm most proud of all of you, though, is that you made it to the finish line today. You finished what you started. Easier said than done, right? So was school easy? No. No, it wasn't easy. Was it supposed to be easy? No. Okay. If it was easy, everyone would do it, everyone would have it, and it would have no value. Exactly. Let's talk about that, right? Like Mr. Thomas. Okay. Every time I walk in the ADC class, you guys are having a great time, right? In fact, I remember the first time I walked into your guys' class with the CEO, and you guys were doing some group something. And I was like, oh my God, they just said that? Oh my gosh. All right. Or maybe some of you were struggling in Terry's class with the math, right? It's not easy. It's not easy. Or Mr. Gonzalez or Mr. Watson were drawing refrigeration diagrams and you were like, a what? Or maybe some of you online students said AAS, 2 classes at once? You kidding me? But either way, you made it here tonight, you crossed the finish line, and I am proud of you. Good job. Next, to all the moms and dads, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, cousins, nephews, and even the little ones, they're doing a good job tonight too. I'm proud of you, because I know without some words of encouragement, or maybe some tough kicks in the butt, some of these grads might not be sitting here in front of the stage today. So let's take a moment, grads, to stand up, point to our family, and give them some love. Come on. All right. Whew. So, there you go. Keep giving kisses. Who are we kissing? I'll blow some kisses too. Okay. So the closing speech, OMG, giving me a microphone is a bad idea. A, I love to talk, and B, the things I'm going to share with you tonight I am passionate about. So here's what I'm going to preface my speech tonight. First off, everything I will share with all you graduates tonight, I believe in my heart, I believe is true, and I believe is gold. And it's very rare in this world that someone wants to give you gold. So if someone wants to give you gold, you're a fool not to take it. Second, I'm going to sound a little cuckoo, a little crazy, but for those of you that have known me or talked with me, you know that what I'm going to tell you is true. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about tonight are magnets, right? Magnets. There's only 2 types of magnets out there, right? Positive magnets or negative magnets, okay? A positive magnet will only attract positive things, and a negative magnet can only attract negative things. Can you go out in the world as a negative magnet and attract positive? Can't do it. The law of gravity is against it. So graduates, I'm going to ask you your first question tonight. What kind of magnet are you? Good. Good. Because if you are a positive magnet, slowly but surely, great people will begin to surround you. Great new ideas will begin to flow, great new opportunities will begin to present themselves, and oftentimes, you yourself just need to be a positive magnet and stay positive. So you might ask yourself, but Chris, I'm positive, and none of that stuff's coming to me. Well, remember this too. A positive magnet repels negative. You ever see two magnets that just don't want to click, right? So maybe that you're being positive, all that negative's trying to get to you, and because you're positive, it's just staying away. So every day when you wake up, the first bit of advice I have for you graduates is decide today what kind of magnet you're going to be. Because if you're a positive magnet, positive will begin to find you. Okay? The next thing I want to talk to you graduates tonight about are goals. Okay? What are your goals? What is your plan? Go out tonight and party? It's okay, you earned it. Right? But tonight I challenge all of you to start writing your daily goals down. In fact, we've covered this many times in student appreciation events. Write them down, put them on a fridge, make them visible. Every day when you wake up in the morning, look at them. Review your goals, your to-do list for the day. Did you know that if I use Joey, for example, okay, or Teresa, for example, my directors of admissions for West Covina and the online team, correct me if I'm wrong, they have a daily goal, they have a weekly goal, they have a monthly goal. Joey, what happens if you don't hit your goals? That's right. Okay? Everyone got to see Howard? Howard for Career Services, Director of Career Services? I meet with Howard every day. He has a daily goal, he has a weekly goal, and he has a monthly goal. Howard, what happens when you don't hit your goals? Darn right. Okay. In fact, everyone on this stage, all my faculty, they all have goals. I meet with them once a week, and we talk about you. We talk about the roster, who was in class, who wasn't, who has books, who doesn't, what's going on with each and every student each and every day. They're a part of your success, and they drive to make sure that they hit their goals. And I'm going to remind all of you tonight to make sure you hit yours. If you want to grow in good times, if you want to grow in bad times, regardless, you need to focus on your goals. You need to write them down, and you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to start planning for your success. So let's talk about success. Success in life can be divided in one of 4 categories. I gotta walk when I talk about this one. Okay. So let's talk about if you really want to be successful in life, there's really only 4 things you have to focus on. Okay? First one's health. Okay? Are you taking good care of yourself? Are you in good health? Okay. The next one's wealth. Okay. Next it's home. And last it's work. That's all you should have focused on. Nothing else. Okay? And if you begin to start putting down goals for yourself, let's say I want to focus on my family. My family. Is there someone in your family right now that maybe needs a hug, a kiss, you haven't talked to in a little bit, a phone call? When's the last time, if they're out of state, maybe you give them a phone call, your mom, your dad, I bet they'd love to have it. But there's always someone in our life, in our family, that we can probably be a little bit better with. So maybe that's where you start writing down your goals and start focusing on being better with your family. Or start focusing on wealth. Everyone always wants money. Money, 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 right? How do I get more money? How do I get more of this and more of that? Well, if you really want more money, the best way to get there is to start planning for it. And by the way, by the time you get there, you probably be focused on something else. Does a new house change a marriage? No. Does a new suit or a new car change the driving it? No. Okay. So maybe money is the thing you need to focus on the most. Maybe you just need to focus on every day being a positive magnet and doing a little something extra every day. A little something, maybe I'll put that donut down. We have birthdays every month. I have like 5 birthdays next month. I'm not eating that birthday cake. I'll be like this. Okay? So if it's your health you want to focus on, put some goals down on paper and start working on them. If it's your wealth, put some goals down on paper and start working on them. If it's your family, maybe you're not as good a husband as you could be, or as good a wife as you could be, or maybe there's just a simple I love you a little more often. But start defining what success is for yourself in those little areas and start working on them. The next thing I'm going to talk to you tonight is speed. Not that kind of speed. What is the speed at which you are driving your life? What is the speed at which you are moving to reach your goals? How fast are you going? Let's say you get in a car, a brand new car, and you look at the speedometer, and it goes from 0 to 140, okay? No one's driving 140 anyway. I don't know why it's at 140, but what pace would you be driving your car at? God, it's hot there. Are you going 50 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour? Or are you stuck in reverse? Things in life will move at the pace you want them to move at. So my advice to you graduates is it's time to speed up. Thank you. I'm roasting. Give me a second. It's hot up here. Is this from Howard? Is this from you or from Sydney? All right. So the last thing I'm going to talk to you about tonight is the most important. It is the goal, the quan, if you will. It is everything. It is what I lead my life by every day. I manage the 2 campuses, the 2 most successful, the 2 biggest, and we continue to grow and we continue to thrive. And there is no secret formula. It's very simple. I'm going to give it to you tonight. And if you listen to me, you're going to do really well. I promise you. If you're in the audience tonight and you listen to me, I'm telling you, if you do what I'm going to tell you right now, your life is going to be fantastic. Just got to do it. And that's the hardest part, because I'm going to tell you this, and it's like a big setup, and you're going to be like, what? That's it? Yep, that's it. It's very simple, because it is everything. But I'm going to preface this first. I'm going to tell you one word tonight. I'll actually ask you, what do you think is the one thing that you could do every day that'll take you from good to great, take you from average to amazing, take you from failure to first class, take you from weakness into a winning formula, to give up to go get them? What's the word? Positive? Okay. It's a good one. Not that one. Effort. I like effort. Not that one. Hard work. Respect. Faith. Honesty. Perseverance. They're all good traits. Sobriety. Yeah, of course. Okay. The answer is simple, guys. It's attitude. Your attitude is everything in life. If you are not where you need to be, it's because of your attitude. Your attitude will determine your altitude in life. Whether you rise or fall, everything is based on the attitude that you showed at that moment. So graduates, what is your attitude towards life? The attitude to keep going when life gets tough? Well, you've already proven you can do that. You're here. You've already proven sitting in those chairs tonight you can handle meeting deadlines, hitting or exceeding expectations. You're reliable, you're dependable. But that was school, and now we're talking about life. So what is your attitude, graduates, about life? Everything centers around what you think about yourself. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to have to define those things. But my advice to you today is to decide on what type of attitude you're going to have from today forward when you walk out these doors. And I define an attitude in really simply 2 forms. And the thing is most of the people sitting here and behind me and on my faculty and staff, they've heard me say this a zillion times. So you're going to have to bear with me. But it's very simple. There's only 2 types of attitudes in this life. It's the attitude of a lion, or it's the attitude of a sheep. And you need the attitude of a lion if you want to take charge of your destiny. A lion wakes up in the morning and says, I can. A lion wakes up in the morning with the attitude that says, I will be great, I'm hungry, I have a mission, and I need to go out and eat. Lions are not followers, they are leaders, and they lead. They don't talk, they walk. A real lion demonstrates who they are. They don't have to tell people what they're going to do, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Nope. They can sit on a quiet little path, and people will just recognize and notice because they demonstrate through their actions who they are. They don't seek respect. For those of you that are in positions of authority, they don't command respect. You better respect me because I'm the campus president. Nope. They earn it. And they get that respect because they treat people well. Here's another myth in life, right? Another falsehood. Nice guys finish last? Nope, that's wrong too. Okay? If you were a boss, some of you are, and I want a raise, and I'm not a good guy. Maybe I work good, but I'm just not a good guy, and you don't like me. Am I getting a raise? No. Because people gotta like you. And the way people like you is you should be positive. You be a positive magnet. You be good to people. You see a lady not sitting down in a chair, you get up. You open the door for people. You respect your elders. You give your mom a kiss. You give your dad a handshake, yes sir. And you're nice to people. Niceness out brings niceness back in. It's back to that positive, back to that attitude. Trust me, you don't believe me? Try it. Lions respect their elders. They smile. They fight for others. They stand for something. They have strength enough to go alone in their own direction even if no one believes in them. Everyone in this room can say left, and they say, you know what? I don't feel left. I'm going right. They have strength enough to go in their own direction even if nobody else wants to. That's why they're a lion, because they listen to themselves, their inner voice. They follow their heart. Because the real truth tonight, graduates, is only you know what's best for you. And you will find that the more you listen to your inner voice, you'll find that the universe is actually on your side. Life is on your side. So if you want more, you got to do more. It's that simple. And you got to have the heart of a lion inside of you. You got to let it out. So my advice to you graduates, and remember I said this is gold, because I do it each and every day, is to don't fit in anymore. Use your gifts, stand out, listen to your voice. When you walk through these doors tonight, be a lion. You see, the lion will walk out tonight certain. The lion will walk out, hear this, and be pumped. And say, you know what? I'm going to get out there, I'm going to party tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to write down my goals, and I'm going to start attacking them, and I'm not going to do anything until the outcome is mine. No one's going to push me around. No one's going to tell me anything other than what I'm going to focus on. Because only you know what's best for you. Your moms, your dads, your brothers, cousins, uncles, they all love you. But sometimes the people who love us the most deter us from our dreams. Because they have our best intentions at mind, but they also think, man, I don't know about that. And sometimes we waver and we waver. So what I'm going to actually tell you is truth. Focus on you. Listen to you. You know what's right for you. You know when you're at that birthday party, you don't want that cake, but you ate that cake. Don't eat that cake. Okay? Listen to your inner voice when it comes to everything, your health, your wealth, your work, and your family. And focus on those things, and you will be amazed at what happens in your life. I am telling you. Or, I'm sweating, sorry. Or you can walk out of here with the sheep attitude tonight. So let's talk about that one. A sheep, right? The sheep attitude, they follow the leader. They're in the herd. Sad part is some of them don't even know it. They're drifting through life, uncertain, not caring, blind, not knowing where they're going, being poked and prodded and pushed and sheared from head to toe time and time again until one day they're led to the slaughterhouse and life's over and goodbye. And that is a waste of a precious life. Remember, this moment right now is a blessing. Here today and gone tomorrow. There are zero guarantees in life. There might not be a next time. You have no time to waste. Sheep will become what other people want them to be, what others want them to see, not what they want to be. They don't listen to their inner voice. Their voice tells them many different things, and they say, not today. So as you try to make decisions about what's next for your life, well, think about this. I just mapped it all out for you. What if I could also prove to you that I'm right? Some of you guys know I'm pretty good with math. You need a budget, you want me to finance something? We can do it. But what if I could also prove to you right now with a mathematical formula that attitude is the most important thing? So I'm going to show you something real quick. If you look at the alphabet, A through Z, 26 letters, and you give A a 1, B a 2, C a 3, D a 4, and you went all the way through the alphabet, and we went back to those words. Let's talk about knowledge, for example. I take knowledge, and I put it all up, add it all up, it equals 96%. I take hard work, add it all up, equals 98%. But attitude, mathematically, will always equal 100%. It's one of the only words in the English language that does it. So therefore, one could conclude with mathematical certainty that while hard work and knowledge will get you close, only a great attitude will get you all the way there. So graduating class of 2018, you all have greatness in you. You all have genius in you. You all can change the quality of your life. You will become what you believe. You will become what you think about. So my advice to you tonight is go out, and just be great. Be a lion, have a great attitude, and you will do well. Thank you. Graduates, please rise. I gotta say, you guys clean up very nicely. By the power vested in me by the state of California, I now pronounce you honorary graduates of InterCoast colleges. Please move your tassel from the left to the right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of 2018. Congratulations, graduates. Go be Lions. Let's hear your roar so loud no one will ever question you again. Now go out, have fun. We have celebration cake, our photographer, our silly photo booth, and staff and faculty will be hanging around to take photos and spend some time with you and your family. Thank you again.